this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room, and this is our series on the lost secrets of advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Today we're looking at tournament play. Before we get there, again, I just do the doobly-doo. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget that like, subscribe, and bell icon, and so on and so forth. So if you think you understand old school D&D, that it was just about killing monsters and surviving the dungeon, you might be mistaken, because early tournament play in D&D wasn't about survival at all. It was about scoring points. When we talk about early D&D modules, especially from the late 70s and early 80s, we forget something crucial. A huge number of them were designed as tournaments. These weren't home campaigns. They were convention games. They had fixed time slots. They had judges with clipboards. They had victory conditions that you were never told. And that led to some of the strangest and most brutal and most fascinating rules D&D ever had. Let's start with number one, scoring and time limits. Winning wasn't survival. Survival didn't mean you won. Tournament modules were scored. Treasure was recovered, objectives were completed, and time was spent. You could die halfway through and still outscore the group that survived by playing safe. This is why old school modules feel ruthless. They rewarded bold play, not cautious play. Number two, and this is a dirty secret, secret objectives. You were never playing the whole game. You were almost never told the real win condition. The DM or judge had a scoring sheet. Rescue the prisoners, points. Recover a specific item, points. Kill the wrong monster, sometimes a penalty. Players weren't just exploring a dungeon, they were unknowingly solving a puzzle designed by the referee. Number three, one-time use environment features. Many tournament modules included single-use advantages. Shortcut tunnel, collapsing wall, magic door that works once. If your group found it, huge score boost. Missed it, gone forever. This wasn't realism, this was game design. And it rewarded observation, and it punished repetition. Number four, pre-baked randomized character kits. It's another thing we lost was randomized starting gear by design. As you needed to show how good you were as a player by getting something random. Not the kit you always pick, but it was a randomized kit. Tournament characters often started with pre-gen equipment packages. Some were good and some were awful. You weren't optimizing a build, you were solving a problem with what you were handed. Very MacGyverish. That's why early D&D feels like a survival horror, because sometimes it literally was. Modules based around magic items. Number five. Some magic items were fake. Not fake in the world, but fake outside the module. They existed only for scoring, or burned out after use, or vanished when the run ended. They weren't campaign loot. They were tools for that specific challenge. And I remember seeing some of these where you could use it during the adventure and then it wasn't going to be useful anymore. This is why early DMs were so comfortable destroying magic items. They were never meant to be permanent. Some of those things that the players got, like bag of holding, and then you start to realize this has really skewed this whole campaign. You start looking for ways to get rid of it. Number six, non-standard experience points rewards. Experience points didn't just come from monsters and gold, and that's been the big topic lately on YouTube is EXP for gold and why it was a good thing. You see a lot of videos on this, but it wasn't just EXP for gold back then. In a tournament, you could earn experience points for following the module's intended tone, creative problem solving, role playing under pressure, and completing secret objectives that you knew nothing about. I love that. Number 7, forced scarcity rules. Tournament modules loved scarcity. Limited torches, limited healing, limited spells. Some modules literally required you to ration resources correctly to reach the end. This is where the famous resource management pillar of old school play really comes from. And number 8, hazed encounters. Rooms could change. Rescue the hostage. Now the dungeon responds. Take too long, the enemies reinforce. Hit a scoring threshold, new threats appear. These weren't static maps, they were creative challenges. And then number 9, instant death traps for spectacle. Yes, some traps were intentionally unfair. Instant death, no save, no warning. Why? Because tournament play punished hesitation. Camping was death. Overthinking was death. These traps weren't about realism, they were about momentum. Number 10, scoring penalties for hoarding. Here's the kicker. EXP for gold, you want all the gold. Well, there were some scoring penalties for hoarding. Some tournaments penalized hoarding. Too much treasure, too many magic items banked, points were deducted. The game was telling you, use your tools or lose the game. Why all this matters today. These lost rules explain so much about early D&D, why the dungeons were brutal, why magic items were dangerous, why the game rewards bold, risky decisions. Tournament D&D wasn't about telling a story, it was about solving a problem under pressure. Completely different. And honestly, we might have lost some of the rules, but the design lessons are still worth stealing. Putting your players today into a problem-solving situation under pressure where it's less about survival but about solving the problem. So that's my review of the lost rules from tournament play. Technically not really lost. We knew they were there all the time, but they're kind of lost to the consciousness in the gaming community today to a certain extent. So thanks for watching the video. We will have more of these lost secrets from AD&D coming out in the future. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do leave a comment below. That helps with the algorithm for sure. And again, this is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room, and I'll see you out there at the gaming table or on the vlog.